Next tonight, are our English laws in regard to weddings in need of modernisation? Some people think so and say they do not fit in with our multicultural society.
In the second report in our series on marriage this week, we've been looking at why rules that are 200 years old are holding couples back from having their ideal ceremony.
Well, some people spend years thinking their union is legally binding when actually it's not. Nick Smith reports on the calls for reform on how people tie the knot.
With summer on the horizon, many of the big wedding venues in the southeast, like the Grand Hotel in Brighton or Leeds Castle near Maidstone, are gearing up for a busy season. Locations such as these are described as approved venues, strictly regulated under English and Welsh law for civil or religious ceremonies, where couples must say specific vows under a roof in front of a registrar with the power to conduct a union. And that's all well and good for some couples, but it isn't for everyone. Jane and Brendan are humanists and are trying to plan a wedding perfectly suited to their shared beliefs.
We have a humanist celebrant and she actually gets to know the couple. The location is a beautiful place that we've chosen that means something to us, and we get a wedding that's tailored to us.
The problem is, this humanist ceremony won't be legally recognised, meaning they'll have to double up, paying hundreds of pounds for an extra civil ceremony at a registry office.
The civil ceremony itself has its restrictions, and those are the language that have to be used, where it has to be conducted, and who conducts it as well is very limited. And that doesn't fit with how we imagine the time we choose to commit to each other and make that statement in front of our friends and family. We want it to be personal to us, and you don't have that choice.
But the legal advisory body, the Law Commission, is currently consulting on whether to recommend the government changes the law to give couples the power to marry however and wherever they want. One charity promoting the institution of marriage claims it could considerably drive down the cost of weddings.
The Law Commission's proposals will allow people for the first time to get married anywhere they like. So it won't be licensed to the building, it'll be the person who registers the wedding. And we think that that's an excellent move, and especially if it makes weddings more accessible to people who don't want to spend a fortune. I hope that being able to get married outside of the monopoly of venues that there are at the moment will help more people to cut their costs.
There are also claims that our present marriage laws, rooted in largely Christian traditions, don't reflect multicultural Britain. Dr. Rajnara Akhtar recently co-led a study into modern marriage. She tells me couples from some minority communities feel penalised, as currently not all religious venues are granted the power to conduct legal weddings.
It becomes problematic where you have a couple who's entered into a ceremony of marriage that they believe is legally binding, but actually doesn't attract that legal recognition. Often that won't come to light until something has gone wrong. So that could be divorce, or it could be the death of one of the partners. If you have a plethora of wedding ceremonies that are not recognised legally, it is an issue that has to be taken on board by government and reform proposals implemented.
The Law Commission is set to announce recommendations on reforming marriage in July, and then it will be up to our lawmakers in government to decide if we stick with our traditions or modernise in the biggest shake-up to matrimony in centuries. Nick Smith, ITV News.